Hey besties, welcome to my channel. Today's video is about how I started my online business, some of the mistakes I made along the way, and what I'm learning in order to improve myself, become a better businesswoman, to grow my business and relaunch. If you're new here, just to let you know, my channel is all about business, fashion, and lifestyle. So if that's something that tickles your fancy, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. So at the end of this video, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I'm able to. Give us a thumbs up if you love this video. That way I'll know to post more like this. So let's hop right into our video for today. How I started my online clothing boutique. And if you see me looking away, I do have some notes, so I'm just checking it, that way I don't go off track. But let's go back to the start. How I came about having this online business is I had just like 2021, I just turned 28 and I was struggling, to be honest. I was struggling to figure out what I really wanted to do, what I was passionate about, what was something that would be my dream job or something that I would love to do long term. And I was brainstorming and I did look into, online businesses. I did my little research, but I wasn't convinced. Like, I didn't know what I actually wanted to sell. So after one day, I had a little chat with a coworker of mine and she was talking about how she had an online boutique, and I was like, I did come across that in my search of like what did I want to do online, but I never really settled on like selling clothes. So I decided to go ahead and just do some more research on the online boutique. And then I'm like, buy clothes, sell it back. Like, I love to shop. Like, I love dressing up. I love going out, feeling good in putting my outfit together, feeling good. So I'm like, this is something that I could do. First mistake. Not because you love it, not because you're passionate about it, means you know how to run a business. That's the first mistake there. But yeah. So that's pretty much how I came up with the idea to start the online boutique. Baller rolling, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start this boutique. This was April. This conversation was probably a little while before, but April, I was like, I'm gonna take this challenge. I'm gonna open an online clothing boutique. So I started doing my research. I watched all the YouTube videos that I could possibly watch on starting an online boutique. I had this one girl, I was like really following her because she had a boutique in New York as well, and she had videos that were giving you step-by-step guide on how to create your own online boutique. So I was like just going with the flow, and by the time you know it, I was already naming the boutique, buying inventory, creating a logo in no particular order either, registering my business, getting a seller's permit. I was doing everything that I needed to do in order to create the business, because I gave myself this deadline that I'm dropping these clothes that I see and like for summer, and in order to catch the summertime I had to drop the clothes by June, because June, July, August it's over for summer, if you're launching clothes that's for that season. So I was like, all right, let me just go ahead and cram starting this business into pretty much April, May, 2 months. I thought that I knew what I was doing. I thought because I did so much research, I had everything. So some of the other things that I did was I was buying a domain, I was researching vendors, I bought samples before I actually bought the product, and I went on Alibaba and I talked to different vendors. I pretty much ordered samples from them because I wanted to make sure the quality of the product that I was gonna sell was great. So I got the samples, I see, okay, I like these, so I went back to those sellers and I started ordering. I set up my social media for my business. So I had the Instagram, the Facebook, the Pinterest, the Twitter, all of them. I was just getting myself out there. I was trying to source a model. I did a photo shoot, and this here is another mistake, as I'm saying. I made a lot of mistakes. So I was doing all these things in no particular order. I didn't have any strategy to what I was doing, and I definitely did not plan anything. I was just executing without a plan. If that makes sense, that makes it easier. And I realized that at the end of everything, though, if those stuff weren't stacked in proper order, there would not be any solid foundation for your business to grow on. So whether it's a couple months or a year or 2 years later, if business takes off for you, or if it doesn't, then you'll realize that the foundation wasn't set. So that was another mistake of mine, not having a proper plan, not having a proper strategy, just jumping and doing what I thought I knew I was doing. So yeah, that was one of the way that I went ahead and I just attacked everything that I knew that I needed to do at the time. I built an email list. I was dabbling in, after getting the items, doing the photo shoot, I was dabbling in Facebook ads. I was building my own website. I was creating content. I was going outside. I was thinking I was creating lifestyle content. And while I'm doing all of this and I'm spending so much money, I also did not budget. I had the money, I had the capital, and I was just issuing it out in different areas of the business that needed it. I went on Amazon, I bought packaging, and I bought supplies, I bought printer, I bought everything that I needed, but I did not have anything that was keeping track of how much I was spending, what I was spending it for, and how much of the money I was just wasting. Pretty much I was just throwing out cash anywhere that needed it. I was just throwing it out instead of having an organized budget. So that was another mistake I made as well. Fast forward to June 17, 2021, when I was so excited. I went on live and I decided to launch my business. Now I had a couple people join me on my live and I was going on and on, super excited about launching my business. But here I made a huge mistake. As soon as I launched, which is hit that button to turn my store on, to go live and have people come and shop, y'all would even guess what the mistake is I made. The first order came through and I see this thing popped up as a test order. I did not turn on my payment system. I had it in test mode because that's what you do when you test it out to see if it works prior, but I never turned it off, and so my first order came in through test mode. So imagine having to explain to your customer, I'm so sorry, but that order was a test order. Could you do it again on your launch day? Those are mistakes that you can't be making. Like, you have to come correct, especially on your day of launching. One mistake I realized that I make is I was creating so much content. I was going outside every day that I was able to, taking pictures in the park, making a ton of videos, posting them, but I didn't have any intentions behind my postings, as well as I did not know who I was speaking to through the content. So yes, I was attracting people, but was I attracting the right people? And even though I was attracting people, I did not know who I was speaking to. So maybe today I feel like I'm gonna post some pictures of just being in the park. The next day I'm posting a video of me in the house. So it wasn't necessarily relatable. I was making all this content and I was winging it. I didn't have any scheduled posts. I would just post whenever I was able to. I was doing the graphics however I wanted them to look. It was all about what I wanted and nothing about what the customer wanted. Also realized that I overbought inventory. I had so much stuff and nothing that I bought went together. Like, you couldn't find a shirt and a bottom. You couldn't find anything that you could pair together. So this is something that if you're watching this and you're gonna start an online boutique, listen to me, like, take this from me. Do not buy a bunch of stuff that you have a single piece here, a single piece there, and nothing could be worn together. I was just buying stuff that I liked and not what the customer told me they liked. I bought what I thought was nice. I bought what I thought was trendy. I bought what I thought was cute. So that was another big mistake that I was making. After all of that, I realized I moved out. I sold a couple items after launching, but nothing was really consistent. I wasn't getting consistent sales, and I started just kind of lagging a little bit as well. Like the enthusiasm of launching had just gone downhill. So I was like puzzled and wondering, like, what's going on? Like, why is the stuff not moving? I was coming up with different types of sales. I was doing bundles. I was doing everything I could to try to move the inventory because it was getting closer now to fall. And even though I sold some of it, I still had a huge chunk of summer stuff left, and it was now, the weather was now changing, so no one is going to really buy those stuff. So this is where I had a really big issue. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I ended up having a conversation with another person who has a boutique, and she was like telling me, I think you should buy new inventory because people tend to want to buy from you when they see new stuff coming in. Like, that was her logic behind it. And I'm not saying she's wrong. That's, if that works for her, that works for her. But at the time I was like, I don't really want to spend any more money when I've already pumped so much money into these inventory, into the inventory that I had, and a lot of it didn't move. So if I wasn't able to sell all of that or have just a little bit of it left, why would I think I would be able to sell, you know, something new? Anyways, I still took her advice, and I just kind of like went. This time I decided not to go with any vendor from like China or Alibaba that I had to wait a little while for the shipping, or I had to do a major research on buying samples and stuff like that. I went with Fashion Go, and I searched and I found I saw this set, and I thought this would be perfect for fall. I'm going to try it out. So I bought it in 3 different colors. I did a little photo shoot, I did my videos, and I knew exactly what I did different now, but at that time I don't know what I was doing different. Me buying that, and actually I sold out of those so quick. I didn't know in the moment what I was doing differently, but now I figure it out. Like, I can analyze what happened and how I was able to do that. But remember, at that time I still was clueless Betty. So I ended up buying more stuff. So I bought some sweatsuits, and I bought some dresses, and I'm like, all right, it's fall, it's cold, these sweatsuits have to sell. It's cold weather. Who doesn't wear a sweatsuit? Who doesn't want a hoodie during cold season? Child, first of all, I got a big order from the hoodies. But after I got that big order, like, the hoodies were crawling out like turtles. They were not moving. They were just sitting on me, and I'm like, this is not working. I gave huge discount sale because around this time it was now Black Friday, and you know, those major holidays were coming up and a lot of sales were going on. So I was like throwing out the biggest discounts, and I would throw it out in the water. But Zwalling, the fishes weren't biting. So after that, I bought another set of inventory. I bought some dresses, and I'm like, holiday dress, and I had this whole plan of what I thought what I wanted it to be, some holiday dress, inspo, etc. I dressed them up, I styled them with other stuff that I owned, which is another mistake. Like, if you're not selling it, don't put it there, because people will ask you about other things that you're not selling, and it's like it loses, the content loses the purpose of trying to sell the product, you know. And even though I say sell the product, that was a mistake I was making. So I was going hard on selling the product, when now I've learned you don't sell the product, you sell a solution to someone's problem. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, so fast forward, December came. I really didn't sell much of the dresses that I bought. So I'm like, you know, the year has come to an end. I had already bought some dresses for like the new year, which I kind of dropped them early because they were more spring colors. But I had those dresses, I bought them the same time I bought the dresses for Christmas. So that was for me to avoid having to do 2 photo shoots. So I would just get one done and that's it. So I had dropped another set of dresses, crickets. So I realized that something isn't working, and I have to take a step back and definitely evaluate this whole business situation and see what I've been doing wrong and how can I fix it. It's been a year since I started my online boutique, and if any of you on here ever followed my business, you know that I had to pause for a while, and I paused in order to fix the things that I was doing wrong, because once you don't know something, you just don't know, and you have to go learn it in order to put your best self out there as well as the best service for your customers. I had been following a coach, her name is Jans, and I was like, I'm probably gonna try her course. I checked and I saw she had a monthly membership, and I'm like, well, she has a boutique, she's showing the results from her boutique, it seems to be working for her, she must know what she's doing. She has so many testimonials of other people who has taken her classes and implemented what she taught them, and they're thriving. Like, they came up from nothing and started, you know, to make strides. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to help myself by paying to play. That's what they call it, you gotta pay to play. So I was like, let me just pay some money and see if I can learn something, because what I'm doing isn't working. And also I had seen Jan's posted that her price was going up for the year. She was raising her price, so I'm like, let me hop on it before the price goes up. So I went and I joined her membership and I started the lessons, and I was like, no Google told me this, no Facebook, no YouTube videos told me this. Like, I was making so many mistakes. There were so many things that I was doing, but I wasn't doing it right. And so, you know, taking the classes, now I realize, okay, I can definitely work on this. I love what I'm doing with this business, and I can definitely work on it, improve it, and, you know, bring it back to life. So I decided to pause and fill up my tank with, you know, new strategies or a new angle on how I am going to redo this business. And so right now, that's what I'm doing to improve. I have a business coach. I am taking the lessons, and as soon as I am planning everything out right now. I have everything planned. I have my outline of what the business brand is supposed to look like now. I have my mission set up. I have what my purpose is. I have why I'm doing this all set up. And because this is, you have to be able to speak over and over and over and over exactly why you are running your business, who it is for, all of those stuff. I've now figured it out, and I have my plan that I'm working on still, but my business will be relaunching in fall. So that's something good that came out of, you know, the whole process. But yeah, it's always a good thing to stop, evaluate, and just see where you are going wrong and see how you can fix it. And if you can't fix it and you have to go somewhere to learn it, like, do, because at the end of the day, that's an investment in yourself and it will be worth it. So I'm just waiting for when it's time for me to relaunch. I am trying my best not to focus on what I'm lacking, because once you focus on that, you magnify it so much that it prevents you from doing the things that you are actually capable of, you know, reaching that full potential. So yeah, so that's my little story about how I started my online boutique. There's so many more to it, but just to keep it short, and if there is anything that you want to know about how I went through the whole process of LLC in my business, registering my business, getting the seller's permit, setting up my website, anything like that, or just anything that I am now learning, like content creation, content marketing, influencer marketing, target audience, market research. Some of these I did not know prior to when I had just launched. Now, if you do have any questions, you can leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. That's my little story about how I started my online boutique. Yes, I know I try to keep it short and simple and straight to the point. For more videos like this, give us a thumbs up. Also, let us know, let me know if you like the video. But yeah, that's it, and thank you so much for watching.